guys, welcome to the start of a much more normal reading vlog than last week. So it is, what time is it? It's 3:30 in the afternoon. I've just finished editing last week's vlog and I'm so glad that I will not be reading any polar bear shapeshifter romances this week because I've just about had my fill of that now. It's been snowing here all day and it's been snowing for quite a while in the UK, but it has taken a while for it to get to us. This is the first time we've had snow so far in, I don't think we've had snow the entire time that I've moved here, but it snowed all night and it is still snowing slightly now, so I absolutely will not be going outside today, although it is very pretty. Hello baby, doesn't want to love me. This week I am currently reading Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb. I have a live show for this on Saturday and I'm on page 79 of 903, so I think it's pretty safe to say that the entirety of this vlog, pretty much, I'm going to be reading this one book. I'm aiming to have it finished by Friday, but I do have Saturday daytime as well if I'm not quite done, and this is the final book in the Live Ship Traders, which is the second series in Robin Hobb's Realm of the Elderlings. I have just posted the schedule for the second phase of Elderlingalong, which is being run by my book club, Catch Up Book Club, where we're reading the entirety of the Realm of the Elderlings. That phase will start in March and end like next September, I think. But this is the last book of the first phase, and the Live Ship Traders is an adult epic high fantasy that takes place in this coastal trader town called Bingtown. And the reason why Bingtown is special is that a lot of the traders have live ships. A live ship is a massive trading vessel that is made out of wizard wood, and when 3 generations of a family die on the decks of the ship comes to life. Now there is, we're getting to the point now where we kind of know why these things are happening, but we're following the Vestrit family who own the live ship Vivacia, and when one of the main character, Althea's father, dies, he will be the person who brings the ship to life, and he's been ill for quite some time. Althea has been away at sea and she has always assumed that she's going to be the member of the family that inherits the live ship and will continue on with her family's legacy. However, she returns back to port and finds out that her father isn't just sick, he is actually dying. So he's brought to the ship to die on the decks to bring Vivacia to life, and Althea finds out that she is actually not going to inherit the ship. It is going to go to her older sister and brother-in-law instead. This is multi-perspective, so there are a lot of characters. Another one of the main characters is Althea's nephew Wintro, who went away to a monastery a few years ago. He's been called back because his grandfather is dying and his father is now forcing him to sail on Vivacia, even though he's happy with his life, he's happy with his calling, he just wants to be in the monastery. We also have Veronica Vestrit, who is Ephron's wife, and her eldest daughter Kefria, who's the one who inherited the ship, and her children, and they are embroiled in all of the small town politics. The Vestrit family are in a lot of debt because of choices that they've made regarding trading and choosing not to trade with the magical goods of the Rainwild River for personal reasons. So they're handling all of that while there's this political plot going on that extends into the larger politics of this area of the world and the city that kind of governs them, even though they are an area that pretty much governs themselves. We also have a couple of people from the Rainwilds. The Rainwilds is where most of the magic comes from in the Realm of the Elderlings as a whole. There's also Brashen Trell, who is the disgraced son of one of the trader families. Ephron Vestrit took him under his wing and kind of straightened him out, and because he doesn't like Althea's brother-in-law, he ends up without a place to go as well. And then we also have Kenneth, who is a pirate who would like to be the next pirate king. Hamilton is crying, don't know if you can hear him. Stop it! There's nothing you want, I literally just fed you. Kenneth would like to become the next pirate king, but pirates do not think that they need a king, and he sets his sights on a live ship, and he believes that the live ship will bring him closer to his goals. Really, really love this series, I have to say. I enjoyed the prologue on the first chapter of this, but the 2 chapters I read last night were just kind of hard to get through. They were a big info dump kind of thing, catching you up on characters that weren't as present at the end of the second book in a little bit of a different location, because the location does shift towards the end of the second book and we spend a lot of time there. So it's just this one big stream of things that have happened in the time that we've been away from these characters, and it is a little bit much. But I know Cody has already finished this and her mind is blown at some of the plot twists, so I am very excited to continue and finish this and also finish this series. It's kind of, I was gonna say it's hard to believe that I will soon have finished the Realm of the Elderlings, but we're talking next September, so we've got a way to go. By the time time we finished, I will have been reading the series for around 2.5 years. So it's not that wild when you think of it that way. So I don't actually know what I'm doing for the rest of the day. Last week's vlog is currently exporting. I'm going to set that to upload. I may put some glitter on the tops of the candles that I made last week so that they're ready to ship tomorrow. Don't have too many orders to ship out, so I'll also, I think, make a batch of candles tomorrow. And for the rest of the day, I think, because I'm going to be done at about 4 o'clock. I might work out. I don't want to. I don't like working out on Mondays. I like Mondays to be chill. But I have, with my general weekly schedule, I have just reduced the amount of work that I typically do on a Monday now. I do tend to finish like halfway through the afternoon on a Monday. So I think I should change my mentality and get in a good workout on a Monday instead of, I don't know, thinking I should take it easy and then trying to force in workouts on busier days. I'm leaning towards yoga, because yoga's easier, but I think I may do some cardio, just suck it up, get it done, and then that's one like less workout I have to worry about later in the week.
So my money will not waste my money. It's a good investment, I'd say. Investing in my happiness, aka books. So yeah, I did enjoy this. I've given it a 4-star read.
You drank too much. You said I only want you, only want you. When we woke up, you were gone. It was obvious. You only came through cause you had nothing to do. When we woke up, you were gone. You said you'd never ever let me go, but you just didn't wanna be alone.
Hey guys, I have just put my dinner in the oven. I'm currently on page 372 of Ship of Destiny, and to be honest, I only started enjoying it at around the page 340 mark. I don't really know what it is. It feels like jumpy and skippy. It feels like there's a lot of time passing in between the perspective shifts, so by the time we return to a character, like a lot has happened that we just don't know, which is difficult because this is a 900-page book, so there's a lot of content here and it doesn't necessarily feel slow. It's weird because I'm complaining that things have been cut out, like traveling scenes where nothing's happened, but I think with Veronica's perspective, who is the matriarch of the Vestrit family, I feel like it is most noticeable with her perspective and the things that are going on with her and the people around her. And like in the perspective of Rain, we were with him as he was about to do something, and then the next time we rejoin him, he's like completed a voyage. And I understand, because this series needs to come to a conclusion in this book, and it's already 900 pages, so things like travel scenes and stuff we don't need, but I'm just really noticing the jumps in it. Some of the theories we've had in the Elderlingalong live shows are now coming to fruition as well. We just got answers about something that we had theorized before. There's also some stuff going on that I didn't see coming, and I have started to enjoy it now. I audibly gasped at the end of the last chapter, which was chapter 14, because I thought something terrible was about to happen, and to be fair, it may still happen. But yeah, that's where I'm up to with that. I need to continue reading 177 pages a day to have it done by Friday, or on Friday should I say. And today I have spent all day filming and editing. I'm filming my fantasy romance collection video, which I decided to do in a flat lay style because I've done some flat lay stuff before but not really, and I looked, and the last time I did anything that was kind of laid out like this, I did it terribly and didn't understand flat lays and angles and things. But I did it in flat lay style, which absolutely killed my back and my hamstrings, because aside from it just generally being strenuous in that position doing flat lay stuff, I did some HIIT cardio on Monday, and I did some intense yoga and deep stretches yesterday. So yeah, my muscles are just like ready to give up on me, but I've just generally been feeling really shit. I've been going to bed at around 11:30, reading until around 1, and then sleeping until 11, and then I'm tired again by about 8 p.m. the day after. I don't get ill very often. When I was a kid, I was ill all the time. I was always off school, and I'd have like terrible illnesses, like just bugs and stuff that would knock me out for like a week or 2 weeks. That cleared up kind of when I got midway through high school, and now I have like the immune system of an ox. I get a cold once a year at most, and I don't think I've had a cold for like the last 2-3 years, and I've had like one stomach bug since I was like 14. But something that stays consistent about me when I'm ill is that I'm really tired, and I sleep all the time. Like when I was was younger. I would come home from school or college, get into bed at about 6 p.m. and sleep right through until the morning after, or even longer if I was incredibly ill and had a temperature or fever or whatever. But the first signs of an illness with me are always sleeping, and sleeping a lot. So I kind of noticed yesterday when I got tired again in the early evening that this was becoming a little bit of a pattern over the last like few days or so. And then today, since maybe it was after lunch, so maybe about 2 p.m, it's 6 p.m. now, I've been feeling incredibly weak on and off. So it was only an hour or so after I had lunch I started feeling weak. So I ate a banana, and then it's 6 p.m. now and I feel really weak again. So I feel like it is quite noticeable. I feel quite fragile right now. But I have dinner in. This fantasy romance video is taking a while to edit because I have to do voiceover things and I'm nowhere near done. And I was going to push myself to do that tonight, but I just don't feel well. I've been struggling through the afternoon. I also had a fairy loot delivered at 4:15 and I turned around an entire video in an hour, and that should have just gone live. So now I've come back to this and I think I'm just going to edit the section that I'm on, have my dinner, which should be ready in around 20 minutes, and yeah, call it a day and try and get some reading done because I really don't feel well at all. But yeah, just thought I would check in, let you know where I'm up to with Ship of Destiny, let you know how I've been feeling, which isn't good, and hopefully things pick up a little bit later on in the week. Update, it is 2 minutes past 8 p.m. and I still haven't read a page yet today. I stopped editing / decided not to edit into the evening for my fantasy romance collection video, and decided that I would try and get up early tomorrow to do that and also make candles tomorrow so I can still have Friday off. But as I mentioned has been happening to me all week, it's 8 p.m. and I could actually go to bed despite having slept for like 10 hours and only having been awake for like 9 hours. So I don't know what it is. My body is giving up on me this week. Hope I'm not coming down with something, but I'm going to try and read for a couple of hours and then probably get myself a bath. One, because I need one, and two, because to be fair, it's going to make me more sleepy, but just to relax and try and I don't know because there's nothing helping me apart from sleeping at the minute.
Didn't wanna be alone. You just didn't wanna be alone. I called you up 'cause I had nothing to do. I was a little confused when you picked up and said hello. It's obvious you're not looking for love, but a night with you is just enough. And now I never wanna let you go, 'cause I
did it. I finished Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb. It's like 11:30 on Friday. I've read 900 pages of adult epic fantasy in 5 days and my brain is soup. I've been watching Jade's Patreon reading sprints. She is not far behind me in finishing. I haven't put anything through Corpal yet. I haven't, like, literally I finished it. I plumped the cushions on the sofa to prepare for bed because I got up for 8 a.m. The guys who were supposed to fit the doors last week, don't know if you remember me mentioning, but they came today and they spent like 5 hours sorting the doors out. I don't have a rating or anything for you guys. I'm gonna come back in the morning and let you guys know my thoughts because my brain is soup. My brain is soup. So much information, but I'm honestly just like, I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I read 900. It was like 873 pages in 5 days. It was a lot. But now I need to pick a new book to read. And I have no idea what I'm going to pick. My first thought was to read Dawn Shard by Brendan Sanderson. But my Kindle died when I had like 40 pages of Ship of Destiny left. And I'm going to read just a few pages in bed tonight. So yeah, I don't know. I was going to blast through the shorter ones. You'd think I would need a rest from epic fantasy, but reading epic fantasy puts me in the mood for more like adult epic fantasy. And I don't have any on my TBR apart from Dawn Shard, which is a little bit different because it's a novella, but not fancying Emperor of Evening Stars right now. Desperate Measures, I'm buddy reading with Claire and I may ask her if she wants to start it on Sunday, Valentine's Day. I mean, wild Disney villain erotica on Valentine's Day, why the hell not? I want to read fantasy or sci-fi, so I don't want to read this. So that leaves me with Red Sister by Mark Lawrence, which kind of in the mood for, or Starsight by Sanderson, but I just don't know. I just don't know. I may take Starsight up to bed with me, see if I'm in the mood for that, because I may not even read anything. I may just fill in my core pile stuff, catch the last bit of Jade Sprints, and then get some sleep. But yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired. My brain hurts. I need to process the end of that book and sort out my spreadsheet and stuff. I'm gonna go to bed and I'll bring you some thoughts tomorrow when I'm hopefully more awake. Hey, so it is Saturday afternoon now. It's just past 3 p.m. I spent the beginning of my day talking to Zaf and Ashley. I have a live show tonight with them at 8 o'clock, but we had a little chat this morning, and then I have edited my bloopers reel that's going up tomorrow, and also just filmed an Owlcrate unboxing. But I said I'd come back and let you know about Ship of Destiny. It came out as 4 stars, which is really sad because this is the only Robin Hobb book that I've given 4 stars, but it felt like there was a lot of perspectives in here, which is something that I love the most about this series in particular over the Farseer trilogy. I like all of the different characters, well, most of them, and also the perspectives. But I'm going to put a trigger warning at the bottom of the description box for this book because there was something in here that made me very, very angry, and I don't really see why it happened. There's many ways, like, it made sense for one character, but essentially a character had to suffer to further the plot line of another character, and I really didn't like that, especially because the person it happened to was my favorite character, or is my favorite character of the series. I don't know, I felt like there were other ways that it could have been done. I didn't like it. I didn't like that the character then had to deal with the repercussions of that. Yeah, I really was not a fan of that whole inclusion. And then aside from that, the beginning of this, I just wasn't really feeling it until around like page 300 to 350. I was struggling to get into it. I felt like there were info dumps in the chapters that were set in Bingtown, especially because I feel like the Mad Ship focuses mainly on the characters of like Malta, Wintro, Kennett. There's a little bit of Althea and Brashen in there, but not as much as I would have liked. And there is actually a decent amount of the characters in Bingtown in that book, but then as we're coming up to the end of the story, it's kind of more set in a different location. And as this book revisits Bingtown, there's kind of like info dumps catching the reader up on what's happened pretty much since we last saw them, because the narrative was taken away from their perspectives a little bit in the Mad Ship, or towards the end of the Mad Ship. So 4 stars for this, but I still think I do prefer this trilogy over the Farseer trilogy. I think I prefer the multi-perspective element of this to being singularly stuck in Fitz's head in the Farseer trilogy, but like ratings wise overall this has been rated slightly less than the Farseer trilogy because I gave all of that 5 stars. And interestingly enough, while Assassin's Quest, I think is the 3rd book, was my favorite book of the Farseer trilogy, I also struggled through the first like 300-ish, 200, 300 pages of that one because it was so stuck in Fitz's head and how he was feeling and recovering and not wanting to do things, and there's a lot of representation for depression in that one. So it seems I don't like the first half of the last book in Robin Hobb's series, but yeah, I do really, really love this series overall. Brashen Trell, not my favorite character of the series overall, but I love Brashen Trell so much. Aside from the big trigger warning that I'm going to put in my description box, there is a little bit of a recurring theme throughout this, and also it's included in the 2nd book Mad Ship as well. There are also other quite dark themes in here, including talks of suicide. Depression is a big theme throughout a lot of Robin Hobb's books. All the ones I've read so far have had elements of depression, and there's a lot of talk of cycles of abuse in here, which is really interesting to read and see represented in a fantasy story, but it is a little bit harrowing to read about. Robin Hobb doesn't really shy away from stuff like that. The ending, I'm not too sure about in terms of how everything resolved with that event that I wish had never happened, but I am quite happy with where all of the characters were at the end. It had like quite a, I don't want to say nice ending, but it had a quite good ending, and I'm sad that the story of these characters doesn't continue as far as I'm assuming. I am expecting a few of them. There is one in particular that will crop up, I know for sure, in the Fitz trilogies. I'm excited to see which characters do actually cross over and make appearances in that series. And I have just read the synopsis of the 1st book in the Rainwild Chronicles, which is the series after the next Fitz series. That is a continuation of some of the character stories from this, although not the characters that you would, I don't want to say not the characters you'd expect, because the Rainwild Chronicles is about dragons essentially, but it's not the characters that we've been following in here. It's not a continuation of their story directly, and I do believe that it takes place a little while after this trilogy, so I'm excited to see who's around in that series, if anybody. So that is done. 900 pages in 5 days. Honestly, still just seriously impressed with myself, I can't lie. And then last night I did make a start on Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. I only read one page. I only read one chapter, so I'm 11 pages into this, and I am actually going to go and read a bit now because it's 3:30 and I've spent my entire day just like working on video stuff, when Saturday is not necessarily a day off for me, but I don't force myself to fill every like working hour with work. I do what I have to do and then I go chill. So it's time for me to go chill, and I'm going to be reading Starsight. But this is the sequel to Skyward, and it is a young adult sci-fi series that follows a girl called Spencer. I think she's around 16, 17, and she has wanted all her life to get into this military flight academy on the planet where she lives. However, this is very difficult for her because her father was branded a coward when he deserted the fight in this pivotal battle for this planet. So this has overshadowed all of Spencer's life. Her family can't even have real jobs because of this. They have to kind of just make do and make money where they can, and the people in authority are doing all they can to stop Spencer from attending. When they do eventually allow her to attend, they make it as difficult for her as possible. I ended up really liking Skyward. By the time I got to the end, it hit me emotionally. I teared up at a few points, and even though I didn't like Spencer at the beginning of Skyward, she really grated on my nerves because she has this quite childish behavior, but she's also very aggressive, and she's also obsessed with like old Earth legends. So she will say like really dramatic things, and everybody's like, why are you saying that? But I did love her by the end of the book. She's kind of one of those characters who is deeply flawed, and even though they continually piss you off and annoy you, you can't help but rooting for them. Another character like that is like Fortuna in the Fortuna Swan series, and also Kat in the Kingmaker Chronicles. So I'm really excited about this. The first chapter that I read kind of fills you in on the things that were found out in like the very last chapter of Skyward, because in typical Brandon Sanderson fashion, you go through Skyward not really knowing the specifics of like, why are humans on this planet? Who is this alien race that is constantly attacking them? And then when you get to the end of the book, you have the conclusion, and then Brandon Sanderson will just be like, yeah, so this is what's going on, and then you're desperate to go into the next book and have that further developed. So it is a little bit info dumpy. Like, it's not disguising the fact that it is just repeating what happened at the end of Skyward, but that's all I can really say about it so far, because I am 11 pages into this. I do want to get a decent chunk of the way through to finish my TBR and also read A Court of Silver Flames, which is released next week. I have to read like 190 something pages a day, which, to be honest, not too sure how that's going to go, although actually there's 3 books on my TBR that are the biggest books on my TBR aside from A Court of Silver Flames that I have no experience with the author, so I have no idea whether they're going to be fast-paced, slow-paced, dense or not, but at least 2 of them I don't think are going to be dense, and then the last one is a literary dystopian, which I've never read before, and I do tend to avoid literary fiction, so that could be a little bit of a struggle for me. And with Sarah J Maas books, I normally struggle to get through the first 200 pages, read them really slowly, and then when we get past that and towards the halfway mark, I'm so absorbed and just fly through them. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to read A Court of Silver Flames either, but I'm so excited. So yeah, I'm gonna go do some reading. I'm gonna put away the things I just got in the Owlcrate iron box first. Actually, really want to put my pins on the pin flag I just got, because I've been waiting for a pin flag with a border around for a long time, and I'm super excited to get that done.
I've got a cold heart, cold hands. I make you wanna be where I am. And if you only knew my plans, yeah, if you only knew who I am. Normally I'd break your heart, I'd love every minute, tear you apart. Late at night I lie awake just thinking about your pretty face.
Hey guys, it is just about midnight on Valentine's Day now, so happy Valentine's Day to everybody. I have had a very relaxing day, mainly watching movies with Curtis. We also played some Divinity 2, which is a game that we started quite a while ago and then stopped playing for some reason, and we've continued again. I hate it when you haven't played a game in ages and you go back and try and figure out what the hell you were supposed to be doing, but I do really like that game, and like the best thing about it is that it is an RPG, which is my favorite type of game, but you can also play it in co-op with someone else, which is really cool, and then it has like physics mechanics and stuff, and just Divinity 2 is amazing, and I want a new divinity soon, please. But reading wise, I haven't actually done that much. I only read probably about 40 pages. Yesterday I had the live show for Ship of Destiny and then stayed talking with Zaf, Cody, Jade and Ashley for a couple of hours. So I made it to page 40 of this, and then I have started a new book today as a little bit of a Valentine's Day treat. This one is on my Bookopoly TBR, by the way, to read a sci-fi, and the one that I started, Desperate Measures by Katie Robert, is on my Bookopoly TBR to read a romance. So because I've been doing stuff with Curtis all day, I haven't actually done much reading. I am buddy reading this with Claire though, and Claire is a significant way ahead of me now. So I'm on page 44 of this, 45, and Claire is like on chapter 14 the last time I checked in. She may have even finished it by now, but chapter 14 is like page 136, so she's way ahead. But this is a well-known like romance slash erotica series, and all of the books in this series are erotic Disney retellings but with like the princess and the villain. So this one in particular is Aladdin, so the romance is between Jasmine and Jafar. I know that there is a Peter Pan one, there's also a Beauty and the Beast one. I think there's 5 or 6 in total, and I don't know whether there will be any more after that, but it's not something I really need to know right now because I am on book 1. But this is actually pretty good. It is like a consensual non-consent relationship, so essentially like BDSM dom sub kind of stuff. They have like a safe word, but these books are set in contemporary settings, so they're also like contemporary retellings. And in this one, Jasmine is, as she is in the movie, she's like the daughter of this influential guy, and she's like kept in the palace, which is the territory that her father rules over. She's not allowed to go out or anything. Her only value is in her name and who she will be married to, and her father has arranged for her to be married to Lee. Now, right at the beginning of this, like before even the start of this novel, Jafar has killed Jasmine's father, taken over his territory. As part of his power bid doing all this, he's also claimed Jasmine. So this is like explicit sexual content. It is erotica. On page like 12, 13, there's already explicit content. So it is, I would say, more erotica than romance, but I'm really enjoying this so far. I'm not even a quarter of the way through it yet. How many pages is this? It's only 200 and something, 213. So I am hoping to finish this tomorrow. I'm going to be reading it a little bit more in bed tonight, hopefully get to around the page 100 mark before I go to sleep. But yeah, so that is my weekend reading. 2 days, 80 pages. But in my defense, I did read like 900 pages across 5 days, so I've read 980 pages this week, which is 5 more pages than I read last week, which was a lot, and I'm still gonna read some more tonight. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this vlog. I will catch up with you guys, let you know how these two are going next week. They look really good together, even though they're very different stories. And next week, as well as these two, I am also going to be reading A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas, and I will include like the content for A Court of Silver Flames in my normal weekly vlog, as well as making like a separate spoiler-filled vlog for that as well, because I usually do that for Sarah J Maas books. But yeah, that is it for this week, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this vlog if you made it this far. If you have, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.